Assalamualaikum. This topic is about schedule ways. So for course learning outcome, at the end of this chapter, the students should be able to define what is schedule ways, differentiate responsibility of waste generator, contractor and the receiver, briefly describe the characteristic and properties of schedule ways, explain the process of identifying schedule ways, explain the process of classifying schedule waste, describe environmental quality regulation 2007, and lastly understand Basel Convention for Hazardous Waste Transboundary Movement. So these are definition of waste based on Basel Convention, European Union, and also EQA 1974. So look at the definition of schedule waste under EQ Schedule Waste 2005. Schedule waste means any waste falling within categories of waste listed in the first schedule. So later we will look at the list of schedule waste in the first schedule. But under EQA 1974, schedule waste means any waste prescribed by the minister in the regulations as schedule waste. Now look at the principle of schedule waste management in Malaysia. The first principle is cradle to grave and cradle to cradle principle. So what's the difference? So cradle to grave means, as we know that the earth as a source of raw materials. Okay, so look at we have lots of materials, raw materials on earth. So we extract them, make products from the sources, and lastly dispose. Okay, daripada raw material jadi product and then jadi waste. So, bila dah jadi waste, dispose. That is cradle to grave. But what we need to do is actually cradle to cradle. Means the waste, the raw materials after converted into products, but not converted into waste. But again, it will be used as the raw material again. Okay, so bukan cradle to grave, but cradle to cradle. From raw material, products, and then again become raw material. So these can be done by using recycle or reuse of the materials. Okay, so takkan terbazir lah, takkan buang sebagai waste. That is cradle to cradle principle. So component of cradle to grave principles are the waste generator, the waste contractor, which is also the transporter, and lastly the waste treatment and disposal facilities. Because all schedule waste cannot be treated by the generator because it will need high cost. So in order to treat the schedule waste, so you need to send to waste treatment and disposal facility. Schedule waste is not the same as solid waste. Schedule waste is special waste that is listed under first schedule. Next, look at the component of cradle to cradle principle. So from the waste generator akan pergi kepada waste contractor or the waste transporter, and then we'll go to the waste receiver. Okay, so this is where the schedule waste that is received by the waste receiver will be reused, reutilized, recovery, or co-processing, okay, to become another raw material. So dia takkan terus buang. Responsibilities of waste generator. Waste generator means the one that produce the waste. Okay, so the first thing first, You need to notify the to DOE the type and generation of waste within 30 days. And also reduce or minimize the generation of waste at source using the best practices. Number 3, if you cannot, you have to reuse or recycle waste whenever possible instead of just throw it away. And then also send waste for reuse, reutilization or co-processing. Monitor and ensure the waste transporter reach to the approved destination. Dispose waste only at approved facilities. Provide inventory of scheduled waste generated, disposed and treated. And then the responsibility also, the waste should be stored and recovered and treated on site. Store waste in appropriate container. And then after put in appropriate container, you must provide information for each category of waste and give the information to the contractor. Okay, and then by complete the consignment note and ensure that all employees involved in handling waste attend training programs. And also the responsibility of waste generator. You need to establish ERP in order to contain spillage, emergency response plan, and lastly, provide technical expertise and supporting assistance okay, for clean up operation. That is responsibility of waste generator. For waste contractor, okay, the one that responsible for transport the scheduled waste. First, they need to register with the approved waste treatment and disposal facilities for transportation of waste. Complete the consignment note, use designated routes, ensure the vehicle used for transportation are safe for delivery. Kita tak boleh guna lori yang biasa saja, kena make sure proper vehicles. And also ensure that waste reach the treatment and disposal facility safely, and apply whatever practicable to contain cleanse and also abate the spill or accidental discharge. And lastly, undertake studies to determine the impact of the spillage. That is responsibility of waste contractor or the transporter. And then after transport, dia akan pergi kepada the waste treatment and disposal facilities. So these are the responsibility, okay, to obtain license from DOE, to comply fully the regulation, comply fully with the license conditions, establish an ERP, emergency response plan, in order to contain and clean up spillage, to complete the consignment note, and to conduct research to improve efficiency. Okay, that is responsibility of the waste treatment disposal facilities.